Okay, so today we're going over Module 10, Area of Polygons. So objective is students will learn the area formulas for different polygons and find their areas. So we start off first with area of a quadrilateral. It's a four-sided figure here. So what we do first is formula pretty much is just base times height. So base times height, area of a quadrilateral. So just remember base is always one of the sides of the quadrilateral, either that or here right there. And what it says right here is that the height and the base are always perpendicular, which means you want to find that 90-degree angle wherever it's at to tell you where the height is at. So that means that the height over here is right this segment right here. So height's right here. And on a rectangle, this is the height, but because it tells you that they're congruent, that means that this side over here is also the height. Okay, so pretty much we abbreviate the area of a formula, b times h, or just base times height. So we're going to be using this form of the formula, b times h. Okay, now area rectangle. Okay, so here we have area, this time is base times height, but half of that, or divided by 2. So here base is right here, just the bottom of the triangle. That's your base. Now the height is this side right here. It's pretty much from the bottom to the tallest point on the triangle, and that's your height. And what it says here, height and base are always perpendicular, so you're looking for that 90-degree angle right there. And then the formula is just 1/2 b times h. So we're going to be using this form of the equation. And next formula, area of a trapezoid. So remember, a trapezoid has these two bases, base 1 and then base 2. And what we're doing here is we're taking those two and we're adding them. And then we're multiplying it by the height. Here's your height. So times the height. And just remember, height and base are always perpendicular. So we're looking for the 90-degree angle right here. And so we take base 1 plus base 2, multiplied by the height, and then divided by 2. So this is the formula for a trapezoid. Okay, so now let's find example 1, area of a parallelogram. Okay, so in a parallelogram, still a quadrilateral, all for 4 sides. The only thing is that the opposite sides are congruent and they're parallel. So again, we're looking for the 90-degree angle. It's right here and right here. So if I look at the bottom of my shape, so I'm saying that this is that's my base. So I'll leave it at B. And I'm going to say that this right here, because it makes it 90-degree perpendicular to each other, this 9 here is my height. So when I find my area formula, it's just base times height, or 24 times 9, or 216 centimeters squared. So we always use whatever units they give us, and we square it because that's our area. Okay, so we use area is always squared. Okay, now example 2. So here's another parallelogram. So again, they give us 3 values. What we're looking for is the 2 sides, or the 2 lengths that form a 90-degree angle or perpendicular, which is right here, which means that this segment right here will be my base, which makes the other segment up here my height. Okay, so now again, area is base times height, or 15 times 5, or 75 centimeters squared. Okay, now example 3. So there's another parallelogram. And again, they don't give you values, but it's on a coordinate plane. So what I do here, just I count the values. So here, so again, it forms a 90-degree angle right here. It's a rectangle. So I count the values. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I get a 9 there. So this would be 9. And I count the other side, which is right here. Right here. And if I count that side, it gives me 5. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5. So that means that this 9 right here is my base. This 5 right here is my height. So area is just 5, base times height, 9 times 5. 9 times 5 is 45. Again, since we don't have units, since they don't tell us what type of units these are, we just call it units squared. Okay, now next one, area of a triangle. Again, we're looking for the 90-degree angle or the two perpendicular segments, which is right here. So that means that if I look at my side, the base is this whole segment right here, from one end to the other. And both parts are 5, which means that my whole segment here, from here to there, will give me 10. So that's going to be my base. Okay. Now the height is this segment right here, because this is the one that's perpendicular, so we use the 12, not the 13. So that means that this segment right here, this will be my height. So I take area equals 1/2 base times height, or 1/2 10 times 12, or this gives us half of 120, and half of 120 is 60 units squared. Okay, now example 5. There's another triangle. So again, we're going to look for where the 90-degree angle is at. And here it's formed right here. So that means that these two sides are my base and my height. So if I look at my base first, this segment right here is my base. And that measures 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 6. And I look at my other segment over here, which is right here. And that measures 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8. So formula is 1/2 base times height, or 1/2 6 times 8. 6 times 8 gives me 48. Then half of 48 is 24. So I get 24 units squared right here. Okay, now example 6. In here I'm looking, so again, my formula is 1/2 base times height. So what I'm looking for here is figuring out what my height is and what my base. So if I look at the bottom of this triangle, that's my base. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have a base of 6. Now to find my height, I'm looking for the tallest point. So from the base, I want to go up to the tallest point, which is right here. So this segment right here, this length, that's what forms the 90-degree angle, is my height. So the height here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I get a height of 5. So my formula is half of 6 times 5. 6 times 5 is 30. Half of 30 is 15. So I get 15 units squared right here. Okay, now example 7, area of a trapezoid. So again, I'm looking for my 90-degree angles from my perpendicular segments, which would mean here's my 90 again, which means that this segment right here is my height. So I'm gonna call this H, okay? Now the other two segments here are gonna be my bases. So that means that this 8 and this 5 are my base 1 and base 2. So I'm gonna call this one base 1, and this is my base 2. Okay, so remember the formula is 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the height. So again, base 1 is 8. So I have 8 and 5, which is right here. And my height was 4, which is over here. So 8 plus 5 gives me 13. And I'm going to multiply 13 times 4, then divide that by 2. So I have 13 times 4 is 52. And then half of 52 gives me 26 units over meters. So it'd be 26 meters squared. Okay, now example 8. Again, another area trapezoid. So here I'm looking for my 90-degree angle, which is right here, which means that this segment right here is my height. So my height is 12. The other two segments here that where it forms a 90-degree angle with is this segment. So this will be my base 1. And then this segment up here will be my base 2. So using the formula again, half base 1 plus base 2 times the height. So I take 38 plus 15, multiply that by 12, and divide it by 2. So I have 1/2 53 times 12. 53 times 12 gives me 636. And then half of 636 gives me an answer of 318 meters squared. I'll forget the C on that. So what to do here? Just put a C right here. So it'd be centimeters squared. Okay, so centimeters squared. Okay, so that's all our notes for today.